Evening, welcome to the programme. Welcome to Pride Park Stadium. Owen Bradley with Sean Barker alongside, here to bring you some reaction to Derby's final home fixture before Christmas and their biggest win of the season so far. They've thumped Portsmouth by 4-0 tonight. A terrific start for Derby. 3 goals in the opening 45 minutes. Kane Wilson got them on their way. Erin Cashin added a second and Ebo Adams a third, all before the half-hour mark. Derby got a fourth after the break. Marcus Harness forcing an own goal from Marlon Pack. The only downside, an injury to Erin Cashin. More about that later. Yes, we'll bring you some reaction from Paul Warne, the head coach, shortly. We'll start with a word or two from Barks, who I have to say was never worried about tonight's result. You thought Derby were going to win, and win they did.
They did. I've seen enough in the home performances this season. I've seen enough of the performances over the last month here that a result would come, and a confident, comfortable result would come too. And sometimes when teams are under pressure, managers are under pressure, players are under pressure, something happens. I kind of mentioned that it might come with the Leeds and Burnley because of how difficult the fixtures were and how people were expecting not much from them. But after the performance at Burnley, the confidence that they would grow into from that, I just fancied them this evening. And it was, they started well, they got the goal. We've seen that at Pride Park already this season. The difference for me is they got the second, because at that point Portsmouth were gaining a little bit of momentum. We've seen it here. We haven't taken that second and then we've been punished. Tonight, got the second, Erin Cashin with a header, and from that point onwards there was only one team that were ever going to win, and dominant in every aspect of the game. I thought they pressed really well. I thought they landed on loads of second balls. They played long at times and stretched the pitch. They built through it. It was a perfect all-round performance, and it was more about the result. It was more about the result, because I've seen good performances and we've come away with nothing. That's been frustrating. Today, absolutely nothing to argue with. From start to finish, best team, comfortable scoreline, confident in everything they did. It was thoroughly deserved, and I'm pleased for the players and the managing and the staff, because they've had a little bit of criticism, and I don't believe, especially here, it's based on performance. It's just not getting the results that you deserve. Yeah,
big result at the end of an important week, a tough week for Derby. More from Barks in a moment, lots of goals to talk about. First, here's the head coach, Paul Warne.
Games. I just think the difference was tonight we were clinical, and if we, would have took chances in previous games, we'd be a lot more handsome. So, really pleased with a lot of performances, obviously. And in fairness, I thought we didn't have as much control as the scoreline suggested first half. So we come in looking handsome, but I'm thinking, well, they had a bit of control, although they went out wide, put early crosses in, which we knew, and we defended most of them well, but a couple of loose chances. But generally, I thought we had a real personality to our play, so I was really proud of them. And the scoreline's nice, and in fairness, keep a clean sheet. It could have been more. We created enough chances to be even more handsome. And then, obviously, when the game sort of not peters out, but you see a lot of personality of our players. So obviously, some people love playing in front of a full house, Kane Wilson being one of them, Kenzo being another. So you just see them sort of coming out of their skin, and then hopefully, the fan base can see why they're at this club, because, they've got a lot to give.
Something for every member of the playing staff and every member of the coaching staff tonight as well, really. Set-piece goal for Matt Hamshaw, clean sheet for Richie Barker, Andy Warrington. What pleased the head coach the most?
I think that what pleased me the most was the bravery to get on the ball. I thought we played really well in pockets. I think what pleases me the most is the fact that this team is, in my opinion, unbiased, really well coached. So look, they can play 2 different systems. So they played 3-5-2 midweek. They played a 5-4-1 at Leeds, and they played 2 different systems tonight. So and in fairness, when we played with our system tonight, we did it with Marcus in one and Kane up high, and so that's what I'm really proud of. The coach has got the messages across really well, but the lads are really good students of the game. So it isn't easy to know 3 different roles, but we can flick to systems quite easily, and they adapt really well. So that's what I'm pleased with, that they're academics of the game, and they're great kids. They'll have a nice weekend, and hopefully, I know they deserve it, and hopefully they'll have a great time, and I look forward to seeing them on Monday. But that's what pleased me the most, I think, that we have a flexibility within our squad that we've put together, that we can play a different couple of systems. And you know, the only downside is I think Cash has pulled his hammy. So I mean, that is me being stating the obvious. I don't know if anyone else noticed he came off, and he's icing his hamstring. So that's a pretty fair bet that that's the only, you know, bit of bad news from tonight, because I thought he was outstanding against Bishop, who's always a centre forward I've admired.
But what you mean is it's too early to know how serious that might be?
It is too early to know, but it ain't good, because centre halves don't come off with a hamstring that 3 days later feels good. So you know, unfortunately, I can state the obvious here. I think he might be missing for a little period.
We always knew this was going to be a tough week.
Yeah.
Trip to Leeds, trip to Burnley, and then this game at home, 3 games in 7 days as well. You get 4 points from it in the end. Is it turned into a pretty good week?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have took it beforehand, without a shadow of a doubt. I'd have definitely took it after the Leeds game if you said we'd have got 4 points in the next 2. Like, if you can average 2 points a game, you're promotion form. If you average 1 point or less a game, you're relegation form, and that is how close the margins are. So, yeah, I'd have definitely taken it. And like I said, I'm really proud of the lads' performances in all 3 games. Take away the scoreline in all 3. There has been some amazing performances, and even like tonight, like, you know, we changed the fullbacks to keep it fresh. We, you know, changed the midfielder. Tomo's been excellent. Covered the most distance in like 2 games per minute, so I knew that he would be sore. So it's always trying to shuffle it to keep it fresh all the time. So really pleased. 4 points in 2 games is good, and I still live on this whole thing that, you know, we've dropped points when we've been unlucky. So people will leave tonight thinking it's a really good performance, I hope. From a coach point of view, I was pleased with it. I thought it was great. I don't think it was any better than any other home performance. It's just the difference tonight was when the chances come, the lads in the final third picked the right pass, done the right thing, got good contacts, and that's what really pleases me.
Paul Warne there, not getting carried away. It's why we love him, Barks, that he can't get too excited after a 4-0 win. But I hope he'll allow us to get a bit more excited. Was the big difference that Derby took their chances tonight in a way they haven't in previous home games?
Yeah, I think he's bang on with that assessment. The performances here have been good. We've played some good stuff. I think we've passed the ball well. We've got in good positions. And you mentioned it before the game started. We haven't given too many chances away for opposition here at Pride Park. So we've been caught out and deserved more from previous home games. We started on the front foot, as we often do here. We got that early goal. And there was a 10-minute period where they had a little bit of control. It looked like we were reluctant to go forward. And I think our next chance, clear-cut chance, was Cash's head. And he took that. It was a great header. Again, it's a real shame he came off because he was performing brilliantly once again. But when chances arose, they took them. And they were more penetrative. They were more aggressive in the final third. It was as good as we've seen Nat for a long time. 1v1s, the fullback Devlin didn't want to play against him. He was at 6s and 7s every time he went at him. So all of the things that we look for in each individual, I thought they just delivered superbly. And what I will say is I thought our midfield 3 were absolutely dominant throughout. With Adams, Houtmine and Ozzy, the combination of the 3 just meant that I can't remember, bar Murphy having a couple of moments in that first half, you can't remember too many times mentioning Portsmouth players, how good they were, how they were influencing the game. It was all about Derby. And it's a performance result especially that they deserved. And
actually, none of Derby's goals are scored by forward players. Ebe Adams gets the 3rd, not the tidiest of finishes, but you have to be there. And you made the point in commentary on Matchday Live on RamsTV tonight. When he's playing and in that more advanced position, he gets into sort of strikers' areas on the pitch.
Yeah, he has chances. He gets in good positions. You have to be there to score it or to miss it. He missed one, I think, in the first half where he didn't quite connect how he wanted to. But if you've got Yates up front, you need supporting players. Now, with Mendez-Laing and Harness in the wider positions, sometimes it's difficult for them to get that central position. So you want your advanced midfielders to get in the box, to burst forward, to make runs beyond. And Adams will do that time and time again. And on top of that, he presses aggressively. So if you want to go at defenders, if you want to go and stop teams playing, he's a great kind of player for that sort of role. And it also leaves Houtmine and Ozzy that little bit deeper to dictate play from the back to try and find passes through lines and through lanes. So it was just an all-round nice balance, and defended well, another clean sheet. Let's not forget that. You top off a really good win and convincing win with a clean sheet, and Zetterstrom had very little to do, in all fairness. So dominant from start to finish, great reaction. When we needed characters to step up in a very important game, they did.
Icing on the cake as well with Marcus Harness, not scoring but essentially creating and forcing the fourth in the second half, and Derby maybe could have had more. James Collins and Kayleigh Jackson almost forcing an error from the goalkeeper. Also brings the goal difference back to 0, and people may think that's irrelevant now, but it's the sort of thing that may come in handy toward the end of the season. Does that put the Leeds game in a little bit more context as well, given Derby didn't take a heavy defeat at Ellen Road last Saturday?
Yes, I understood the Leeds game. I was quite clear that the gulf in quality on the day was there to be seen. Leeds were the best team we've seen by a country mile. If we'd have gone at them at 2-0 down, could we have opened ourselves up for a bit of a mauling? Potentially, yes. And anyone that's in these positions where you're struggling for results and struggling for the points, you think about almost the worst case scenario, and you think about the little details that make a difference at the end of the seasons. Teams have gone up and gone down on goal differences, and at that point I didn't feel there's anything wrong to say, well, actually, let's not concede anymore, let's keep it tight and see if we get a goal late on in the game. That happened, it stayed 2-0. Today you get your 4 goals. Goal difference now looks great at this point. And the long and short of it, you've had 3 very difficult games, 1 high-pressure game, 2 games away from home against the top of the league, and we've come away with 4 points. That, for me, has been a wonderful week, and a week that, at one stage, there's lots of negative talk, and then all of a sudden we're coming out the back of it, 5-6 days later, and there's full of optimism and belief again. That's how quickly football can change within the space of 2 or 3 games.
Let's get a bit more action. From downstairs, here's Nathaniel Mendez-Laing.
Yeah, buzzing. The lads are all buzzing in there. I think it's been a long time coming. It felt like free-flowing football, but we was ruthless in the final third, which is what we've needed over the past few weeks, and probably hasn't been there. Again, I think we have been playing some good stuff, but we just haven't got the finishing touch at the moment, whereas tonight I think that we really showed that.
It was an important game because of the run you've been on and because of the opposition as well. What was said in that room before you went out there?
Look, we didn't build it up to be, even though we know it was. Every game we obviously want to win, and I think it was just more a case of, look, go out there, play stuff, and be confident. Like, there's nothing to fear, and show everyone what you can do. There's nothing better than Pride Park Friday night, on the telly. So I'm really proud of all the boys tonight.
You made a great start, fast start, and got a deserved goal. You played a big part in it.
Yeah, that's what was said in there. Get out there, get after them straight away, and be on the front foot. And thankfully, Kane put that one away.
How did you manage to spot him through the crowd of bodies?
It's the Buffalo, innit? You can't miss him.
The pair of you have a great relationship. How much do you enjoy, setting him up like that?
Yeah, I love it. Kane's my guy, man, and I'm buzzing for him to get a goal. I think he played excellent tonight as well. He was up and down there like the Buffalo that he is. So but everyone to a man tonight, I think, was outstanding all the way through the team.
And was the big difference between tonight and other games where you have played well that you took your chances and got yourself into a more comfortable position?
Yeah, I think that's it. Look, you get the first goal, and then you're playing confident. Whereas I think in other games we haven't really gone and got the second, and I think like you get the second, then it changes, and then obviously 3 and 4 is a bit different. But the second goal is important, and thankfully we got that early doors.
We knew it was going to be a difficult week this when the fixtures came out. Leeds away, Burnley away, and then Portsmouth back here at Pride Park. You come out of it with 4 points. Not a bad week at the end.
No, definitely not. I think obviously after the Leeds game, there was a lot said, and look, at the end of them 3 games now, 4 points, I don't think is bad at all. You look back at the other previous games, we would have hoped to have got more points, and it hasn't really been the case. So I think tonight was important for us.
Clean sheet as well. Is there a feeling that this could be the start of another run?
I hope so. Look, I wouldn't want to obviously jinx us or anything like that, but look, the boys are obviously confident after that now, and I think we've proven that we can compete at this level against top teams at the top, teams at the bottom or mid-table. So we should take great confidence from that.
Enjoy your weekend off.
Cheers. Thank you.
That's Derby's captain Nathaniel Mendez-Laing. Confirmation then of Derby's victory over Portsmouth tonight to kick off the Championship weekend. 3 games tomorrow lunchtime, all involve teams near the bottom of the table. Queen's Park Rangers at Bristol City. Coventry against Hull is an interesting one, two pretty newly appointed managers facing off there. And Preston hosting Leeds, who can go back to the top of the table, at least temporarily, if they win a couple of games on Sunday as well. Nothing's changed in the top half of the table tonight. Still Sheffield United leading from Leeds. Burnley and Sunderland the closest competition for them. Derby climb 3 places tonight, up to 14th in the table. Only Millwall just above them have a better goal difference than the Rams. Portsmouth stay where they are, just their goal difference took a hammering tonight. They have 2 games in hand on Derby. Everybody else, of course, plays tomorrow. That's just about it from us for now. The first team back in action next Friday, that trip to Luton. Do join us for that if you can. And there's more action here at Pride Park in the week. On Tuesday night, the under-18s in FA Youth Cup action against Sunderland. Do get yourself down and support the boys if possible. That's all for now. If you want more, it's on the website, dcfc.co.uk. From me, Barks, and the rest of the RamsTV team, goodbye.